Hey everybody, welcome back to Moving Cardboard. This is Luke. Today I wanted to show you a game I've been having a blast with, kind of as a break from Lord of the Rings, which is tearing my hair out right now. But One Deck Dungeon, Osmodi Games. It's a pretty cool game. I've been having quite a lot of fun with it. It's a very small box, and true to its name, it's just basically one deck of cards. Especially for the price point, there's a surprising amount of game in here. And I just wanted to kind of show it to you, what I like about it, what's cool about it. So, it's kind of a rogue-like kind of game. So you have these starting characters that you can play. A rogue, a paladin, archer, a warrior, and a mage. It's interesting that they're all female. There's a one-player version and a two-player version. They're weaker with two-player. They roll fewer dice because the nature of the game doesn't change. So actually with two players you have more dice overall to meet the challenges. Each of these characters have a heroic feat that they can do, which is slightly weaker in the two-player version of the character, and they have a basic skill. So the game flow is that you're encountering things, and then you have to choose whether or not to do the thing, fight the thing, or try to overcome the obstacle, or flee. So you have a deck that represents your dungeon, that you shuffle these cards, and then you take an explore action, in which you lay out 4 of these cards. And then you can take an action after you've done that to enter one of these rooms, and you flip it over and you just look at what it is and you have to do the thing. So this would be an enemy. It's a battle because it has this crossed swords, and you roll your dice, and you have to fill these boxes with these numbers. The little squares you can only use 1 die. The large box you can use as many dice as you want to. All your dice. And the shield means you have to fill that box before anything else happens, before you can fill anything else up. So that's the basic flow of the game. Then you claim this card as loot, and you can claim it in many ways. You can claim it either for the experience, so this would be 2 experience points here. You can claim it for what they call the item, which is basically an extra die you get to roll. And then the skill at the bottom. You have a maximum number of items and skills your character can have based on your character's level. So I'm playing 1 player, so this is the 1-player version. So at level 1, where you start off with 1 item, you can have up to 1 item and 2 skills, not including your basic skill and your starting skill. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward and pretty quick to play, but there's, some depth. I mean, you are rolling dice, but it's not a total dice fest because you have to make judicious decisions about which thing to encounter based on how likely it is you think you can defeat it, but also what the reward is. So like, say, these 2 cards they'll give you, if you claim the item, you'll get an extra die to roll, either a fight or an agility die, but you'll also get an extra hit point. So those have really good rewards. And they're worth 4 experience points, or the reward of like this skill. During any obstacle, you get an extra die that's a black die, which means it can be used for anything. So this is a really great reward. But they're very challenging. They're very hard to get. The thing is, no matter what happens, you're going to claim one of these cards as loot. When you enter the room, if you make a die roll, you'll still get to claim the card, but you'll suffer some penalty. The hearts here, if this box isn't covered, that's damage your character takes. The hourglass is time. So time passes. So if you suffered 2 time, you would discard 2 cards. Once this deck is empty, you have to descend. You can sit here and wait, but you'll accrue damage over time if you don't descend. And as you descend, the dungeon becomes harder. So you could, you can go to this ethereal, take a bunch of damage, but then you've got to figure out how to heal yourself. But you could do it. So that's the pressure luck aspect. Like, well, I'll fight this phantom guy and to get the XP to level up. Or I'll flee or whatnot. I've been playing with the mage, which has a really good heroic ability. I get to accrue up to 2 heroic dice, which are the wilds, and I get one every time I explore or every time I flee. So both of those things, especially explore, happens a lot. Explore actually is the first action you do, because when you very first start the game there are no doors, so you have to do an explore action. So I get to start off with the wild die, basically. As you level up, so I need 6 XP, and I get 1 potion during setup. As you level up, as you see, I gain a potion, and I get 1 bonus die. When you get to level 4, you get 2 dice. So it's just 2 bonus dice you get to roll every turn for every encounter. And those are wild that can be used for anything. So it's kind of cool. And the skill selection, you can get some really good synergies with these. Like I just pulled some out. These are skills that I like to always try to get. Like this one, you always get a die during battles. Stuff like this, you can trade in 6 mana for 2 6-value fight dice. So that's trading in 1 die for 2. Really good, because the mage starts with 4 magic dice. So I'm rolling 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 7 dice total, right? But I can turn one of those into 2. I can use this standing burst is really good. 4 magic to get a 4 fight and a 4. So you can turn, and with that, since it's not in a square like that, it's not 1 die, it's any number of dice totaling 6. And I get 2 dice, a fight and a agility with a 4 on them, then +1 to my dice. And then this I can trade in a die to make a fight die to make it a 6. So basically I can just turn any 4 to a 6. So there's just like lots of cool little things you can do with manipulating the dice. So that's why it's not a pure luck fest. You want to judiciously pick your skills that come up. Like, okay, I want to fight this thing to get such and such skill and develop synergies and everything like that. So it's kind of neat. Now when I talked about the dungeons, so every dungeon has its own card. So here's the Yeti's Cavern. When you're on level 1, you keep it like this. Actually on your turn reference. So whenever you're in a battle, you also have these boxes added to the things you have to do. And when you're in an obstacle like a trap, you also have this box. When you descend, and you have to do all of those. So now, instead of those 2, I also have this 3rd box when I'm in a fight to do. And then the 3rd level like this. And then after you've descended the 3rd level, you have the boss fight. And boss fights go under a series of rounds. You have to cover the boxes with skulls in order to inflict hits on him. See, he's pretty beefy. He does a lot of damage to you. The Yeti's, that's the one I'm trying to beat now. So it's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. Now the game really shines for me with the campaign mode that they have. So you have this sheet here, and you're getting check marks on these boxes. You just play over and over again, repeatedly dying. But as you do things, whether you beat the dungeon or not, you get to fill in these boxes, which then unlock basic abilities. So there are these different categories. You can only, when you are playing, you have access to all this basic, and then these categories, healing, combat, and dungeon, you pick one of these 3 categories to get those powers as well. There's little check boxes, so I guess the goal I've set for myself is to see, this is 20 games. In 20 games, how many of these bosses can I beat? And I was playing at the veteran level, so I don't start with anything extra. But at this point, I get to start the game with any 1 basic skill, and I have an extra health. I also have an extra potion, which is a big deal. And now I've unlocked, when I use a potion, I heal a damage, and when I descend, I heal a damage. So a healing potion, the way potions work is, it's a consumable. You put a token here to show that you have a potion. So I start with 2 now. And you always have healing. Heal 3 damage at the start of your turn or 2 anytime. So basically I can heal 4 damage with a potion. Potions are like a reward on some of these cards. I usually don't take potions because it's a consumable, right? But this invisibility potion is really good. You have to spend 2 time and you just beat the encounter, basically. There's not a whole lot of potions. Reroll all your 1s and 2s. Stuff like that. But usually I just keep it for the healing, which gives me more staying power. But as I play, I'll mark off. So I've played 9 games, and I've only beat the dragon. I've gotten to the Yeti, but haven't defeated the Yeti yet. And I'm playing as the mage. So my goal is I'll play through this as the mage, and then pick a different character, play through, and once I've played every character in the campaign, then I'll probably retire the game or get the expansion. But it's really cool. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I highly recommend it, especially again for the price point. There's a surprising amount of game packed into this little box for what it is. It's not the greatest game ever, but the game per dollar ratio is very high, I would say. So that's One Deck Dungeon. I might do a playthrough video of it or something maybe. But I just wanted to recommend it. It's pretty fun. Thanks for watching.